latest and greatest information that you, as business owners and operators, can use every day. My name is Stephen Reichel from Ring Ring Marketing, and it's my pleasure to bring you this event today. As you know, we're committed to your success. As many of you know, we at Ring Ring Marketing are dedicated to seeing your business climb to a new level, and that's why we've created webinars like this just for you. Today's webinar is titled How to Increase Your Phone Calls with Mobile Marketing. And before I introduce our speakers today, I want to go over a few things before we begin. All of you on this call can ask the speaker questions by simply clicking the chat icon located on the right side of your screen. The chat icon looks like a dialogue bubble, like you see in a comic book. All questions will be read by our amazing representative, Allison, at the end of the session today, so please be patient. If you have questions for any one of us or are having technical issues, please let Allison know via the chat icon. Also, everyone on the call today will be automatically muted during the duration of the call to cut down on any background noise. If for some reason you are hearing background noise, try muting yourself, and you can also ask Allison how to do that. Please make sure that you're in a quiet place so that you can take in all of this information being shared with you today, and I guarantee you there will be a ton of it. Okay, now I want to introduce to you the founder and CEO of Ring Ring Marketing and the host for today's webinar, Welton Hung. Over to you, Welton.
Thank you, Stephen. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for taking the time to join this webinar to learn more about what mobile marketing is and how you can leverage it to grow your business. My name is Welton Hung, and I'm founder of Ring Ring Marketing. We help small businesses across US and Canada generate more leads from online direct to their phone line. Also on the line with me is Vanessa from Google. She is an agency development manager at Google. We are very fortunate to have a Google insider educating all of us on why mobile marketing can be another weapon for lead generation. First of all, I want to answer the question, is mobile marketing for my business? This is actually a very intriguing question here. I used to be in a camp of thinking that mobile marketing only works for businesses with low ticket size that are more impulse driven, such as restaurants, locksmith, plumber, something that is very quick. And my thought was that for high ticket items such as windows and doors, window covering, roofing, people do sit in front of their computer to do serious research before they call. However, after meeting with people from Google, digesting a lot of data from Google, and testing out many different campaigns on high ticket items such as windows and doors, roofing, window covering, mobile marketing indeed help influence and drive phone calls. And this is, I probably think the main reason here is the consumer behavior has changed a lot. Even when potential customers do their final stage of research on a desktop computer, they tend to begin the process on a smartphone. So mobile marketing lets you engage with leads early on in the sales cycle before potential customers take the next step, because many of your competitors are not tapping into mobile marketing yet. You can definitely get ahead of the game by leveraging mobile marketing now. So for the next 30 minutes or so, Vanessa from Google will be educating all of us how the consumer behavior has changed, why mobile marketing works, and how to run a successful mobile marketing campaign. She will also be sharing with us some case studies from very large brands such as blinds.com. Vanessa, are you there? I'm going to turn the presenter over to you.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Welton. Just let me know when the controls have been turned over to me so I can present.
Got it. So you should have the control now.
Okay, perfect. Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet. Good. Yes, we can see now.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Welton, for the very good introduction. And to everybody else on the call, my name is Vanessa Costasau, and I am an agency development manager at Google. I am very passionate about mobile marketing, and I work with agencies to help them educate their customers about the value of Google products for their business. And today I am going to talk to you about one of the biggest shifts in consumer behavior and how it impacts you as a business. So I'm sure all of us remember the days when we didn't have those many devices and the path to purchase was very, very simple a few years ago. We basically opened our laptops or computers, we launched a browser, searched for what we are interested in, and completed the conversion on one device. That is, the conversion began and ended on one device. But today we own many different types of devices, and device proliferation has changed our path to purchase. Think about yourself.
So Vanessa, I'm sorry, we're still seeing the first slide.
Okay. I've actually moved forward. Can you see some of my other slides?
No, still on the first slide with your picture.
Okay, let me try doing this again.
Thank you. Good. Yes, it's moving. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why that happened. If it happens again, feel free to stop me, and I will get back to taking control of the presentation. All right, so let me just quickly walk you through some of the slides that you guys didn't get a chance to see. So basically, I was talking about how in the past we basically own maybe one or at most two devices, and conversions began and ended on one device itself. But today, we all own many different types of devices. Some of us may have computers, tablets, phones, and even multiple phones. And device proliferation has changed how we interact with different devices, and also it has changed our path to purchase. And think about yourself. How many devices have you already used today? It is around 11:10 a.m. in California, and I have already used 3 different devices. I checked my phone in the morning after multiple 10-minute sleep intervals due to my long-term relationship with the snooze button on my phone alarm. I also checked my work cell phone when I got into work, and right now I am using my laptop. And today we live in a multi-screen world, and we reach out to our devices, to whichever device is most convenient to us at a given point in time. In fact, not only do we use multiple devices, but we also use these devices at the same time. According to 7 On Media, more than half of US consumers use the TV and the internet at the same time. We watch TV today not just with our families, but also with our phones and tablets. And I'm sure all of us can relate to this bedroom picture or the living room picture where we have multiple devices and have the TV playing in the background while trying to multitask between all of the different activities that we're trying to do. From my own personal experience, I use my laptop to browse a couple of items that I might want to purchase or a couple of weekend activities with the TV in the background and the phone by my side as well, responding to text messages from my friends or even checking a couple of social media apps on my phone. So given how the consumer behavior online has changed and interaction with devices has changed, our path to purchase has also changed. Now users own and interact with multiple devices, which has led to new types of conversions. There is the one device conversion. There is the cross-device conversion across different devices. There is the app install, where a user downloads and installs an app on their phone. There is in-store sales, as well as phone conversions. By that, I mean people using their phones to complete the conversion or to call a business. To illustrate, we may begin a search on a phone earlier in the day, and then we may complete the conversion at night or later in the evening on a PC or a laptop. And this is a very good example of a consumer who moves across different devices at different points of time during the day. I want to walk you through a real-life example This is LEAF. LEAF is part of a qualitative research project that we've been working on over the past several months. The goal of the project is to learn more about the moments people engage with digital in their lives and to understand the motivations behind those moments. Today, I'd like to share with you a moment from LEAF's life that relates to your business, directly or indirectly. On a Wednesday morning in September, Leaf wants to touch up some of the exterior paint on his house. He is almost out of the original paint he used on the house 2 years ago, so he heads to the local paint store to replenish his supply. Unfortunately, they no longer carry the paint, but the local store owner recommends another store that may have the paint in stock. Leaf hasn't heard of this store before, and he does not know where it is located either. So as he walks out of his local paint store, he does a search on his phone for the new store name, Tuckahoe Paint and Glass, to find out where it is located. He then calls them to confirm their location and to see if they have the paint he is looking for before he treks across town to visit their store. While we ask Leaf about this later, he says that this is standard practice for him to call after doing a search. He tells us that he likes to have a conversation with a real person. He appreciates a more personal touch rather than a digital interaction. And in this case, Leaf's call also gives him the confidence to drive across town to visit a new store and pick up the paint he needs for his house. And it is not just Leaf who uses his smartphone to make a call after searching. Believe it or not, but a vast majority of consumers still use their smartphones as actual phones to quickly accomplish a task in that moment or to receive the reassurance that talking to a real person can bring. In Leaf's case, he needed the reassurance that he wouldn't once again walk out of a paint store empty-handed. He wanted to make sure that he drove all the way across town, that if he drove all the way across town, it would not be a waste of his time and that he would find what he was looking for. In fact, today, like Leaf, many consumers also still use their smartphone as an actual phone. Shocking sometimes, but this is what a phone was originally designed to do. If you didn't stop to think about it, you'd assume that all these devices were good for only browsing social media apps or playing games or texting friends. But human-to-human phone contact is still alive and well. Part of the reason for this is the increase in the number of phones which people use throughout their day. We talk a lot about how constant connectivity has changed people's access to the internet. But similarly, mobile phones have changed people's ability to make calls. Now people can call your business anytime, anywhere, no matter what they're doing, and even if sometimes they may be doing something else. And in some countries, especially in the US, mobile phones have eliminated the concept of long-distance charges, thereby making a phone call practically free for a lot of users. And there may be many situations where it is actually easier for a user to call you. And I have some of the reasons here on the screen. One reason may just be the caller's situation. For example, the lady on the screen is walking her dog, and she cannot necessarily use her laptop or another device. Because she is busy doing something else, it is easier for her to call you from your phone. So many times, given a customer's situation, they may prefer just calling a business where they don't have both of their hands free or they're not in a place like their home or their office to take a look at your website, so they may prefer calling you. Sometimes users call because of what they are calling about or what they are trying to buy. It may be a complicated product like insurance, or they may want to talk directly to your business to understand the different types of deals and products that you offer. And in most instances, it is just personal preference. 57% of the people, according to a research study that we did on the role of click-to-call and path to purchase, 57% of the people prefer to call and talk to a real person. Having a phone that also connects to the internet has completely changed a person's ability to find and call a business. If you think back to the pre-smartphone era, you had to either have a phone book or have a phone number programmed into your phone already, or you had to see a billboard, a TV ad, or a print ad in order to know how to call a business. Now you have a phone with you at all points of the day, and for the most part, your phone also has access to the internet, making it easier for users to search and find your business and your phone number online as well if you have that in your ads. And more than just the ability to phone, users also now have access to their email, receipts, and other documents that they might need to reference on a call, giving users all the necessary information while they are out and about. And according to the US Smartphone Penetration Report by BIA-Kelsey, there is an 80% smartphone penetration in the US alone. So the proliferation of smartphones and the easier access to the internet and information is making it easier for users to call your business either from their home or while they are on the go. And according to BIA-Kelsey, calls to US businesses from a mobile search is projected to grow from 38 billion in 2014 to 73 billion in 2018. And these aren't just crank calls or hang-ups or missed calls or heavy breathers that are calling you. All of these calls are valuable, and you need to pay attention to each and every phone call that is coming to your business, because each phone call is a potential sale and represents an opportunity for you to reach out to users who are already looking for you. Phone calls can also help your users make up their minds, especially if the person answering the phone is more than just an order taker, but a true salesperson. They can handle objections, set people's mind at ease, and guide them to the right product or service. For local home services, including windows and doors, 70% indicate that calls are extremely and very important in the purchase process, and 47% said that they would be extremely or very likely to call a business if the call capability was available in smartphone searches. These are a few data points from a research study we did along with Ipsos on the role of click-to-call in a consumer's path to purchase. We already mentioned that a call can help you seal the deal. Well-trained salespeople will address a customer's concern and get them to convert, especially when they have questions or are buying something complex. This means that calls typically have a much higher conversion rate than website traffic. In many cases, a good phone salesperson will also be able to upsell customers and increase their order value by asking the right questions, understanding how the customer will use the product, and make informed recommendations based on that customer's specific use. Websites also sometimes try to do this, and I'm sure all of us have used websites like Amazon, and when you try to buy something on Amazon, you see a little link at the bottom which says, customers who bought this also tried to buy a few other items, and they may give you a list of other related products. For example, if you are trying to buy a digital camera on Amazon, you may see a link at the bottom which includes links to buy batteries, memory cards, and a tripod. But all of these messages on a website are pretty easy to ignore, and you don't really know if you need those things to begin with. But on the phone, someone can explain to you why you need them, and then based on that, you can plan to purchase it either at that point or at some point in the future. And here is an example from blinds.com. This is a case study that we did with this customer. I'm sure that all of us know, and especially you know, how complicated buying blinds actually is. They need to be ordered for the right size for a window, and there are tons of different types of colors and styles to choose from. So in this case, that complexity leads people wanting to call and wanting to talk to an expert who can advise them. And based on our review of their account, blinds.com mobile conversion rate is 700% greater than mobile online. Mobile call average order value is 2 times greater than mobile online. And website call conversions enables them to track 56% more paid revenue on mobile and realize 300% ROI on mobile click-to-call ads. These results speak for themselves. People convert better, they order more, and the measurement gives them better insights to help them understand the value of their advertising. So hopefully with this example, I have successfully convinced you about the value of phone calls for your business. And now that we understand how valuable phone calls are for your business and the opportunities it provides to you as a business, not only to reach out to your customers, but to also upsell some of your other services, I want to now walk you through some of the key things that you need to keep in mind while trying to achieve success with phone calls. And Google also has various tools to help you get more calls to your business, and we also provide various other solutions for you, not only to get calls, but also to track calls and optimize your accounts to get even more phone calls. In a broad sense, Google makes it easy for you to make it easy for your customers to call you. It helps you measure these calls accurately. It helps you optimize your campaigns based on the measurement, and also helps to give you recommendations to optimize calls for your business. So first and foremost, the number one thing that you need to do is you need to make it easy for customers to call you. They should be able to call you from every channel, either from your website or from Google Maps or from your ads on Google Search, or sometimes even from within your apps if you have one. So the first and foremost step is to make it easy for customers to find and call your business. And how can you do that? Google has a product called Call Extensions. Call Extensions basically allows a customer to call you. As you can see on the screen, there is that little call button in that ad at the top. That is an example of what a call extension looks like. This call extension basically puts a nice little call button right next to your ads so that people can call you just with one click. They still have the option to click through to your website, and then you also need to give them the option to call you from their website. So basically, using call extensions allows you to give people different options to reach out to your business. We also have another option. Sometimes you may only want to give people the option to call you and not click on your website. We do have a solution for this, and this is called CallOnly Ads. These ads basically turn your headline and the call button into a click-to-call feature only. And this can be sort of like a short-term solution or a band-aid solution in the interim period till you develop a mobile website. If you don't have a mobile website, I recommend using call-only options. But keep in mind that this is a very short-term solution, and it is a short fix to give you time to work on building a mobile website, because at the end of the day, your consumers still are going to visit your website from their phones, and if it is not mobile optimized, you are giving them a very bad experience. The next thing that you need to do once you generate calls is you need to measure the performance of these calls. Are these calls working? Which calls are coming in from your ads? And which campaigns are generating the most calls are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself as you set up your campaigns. When you set up your call extensions, you can enable Google Call Forwarding Numbers, which is basically a tool that allows you to measure the performance of your calls. We basically route the call through a unique number, and we do that in a very seamless way for the user. Your phone rings just as it normally would, but it also allows you to see which keywords, ads, ad groups, and campaigns are best at driving phone calls to your business. It helps you to understand your return on investment and to make better decisions about your ad spend. And it also helps you to use flexible bidding strategies that automatically optimize your campaigns according to your business goals. And to put it shortly, Google call forwarding numbers basically allows you to track calls and the performance of those calls. And we do that by using a Google forwarding number. And when a user calls that number, a call is automatically routed to your business. We also have several other reports that helps you to measure your call performance. The image on the screen here basically is a screenshot of a call details report. With this report, you can see all the calls your ads drove to your business, including when calls were made, whether they were connected, their duration, and the caller's area code. This helps you figure out which campaigns are working and which aren't. But the real question is, did these calls actually result in a conversion? That is, did this phone call actually result in a sale for you? Now, this is tough to answer without actually listening to the specifics of the call. And we try at Google to make this a lot easier for you by offering solutions such as calls as conversions and website calls as conversions. Now, this is not the same as listening to the actual phone call, but it does come very close. Using these tools, you can specify a length of time for a call that serves as a proxy for conversion. For example, if calls over 5 minutes are typically sales, you can set this duration, and every call over that length will be recorded as a conversion. This works both for the calls from your ads and also from your website. The second piece is also really important, that is, calls from your website is very important, because often a call from your website is more likely to turn into a conversion because the customer has pre-qualified themselves. They've browsed your products and your services, and they have decided that after their research, they want to call you. So we definitely recommend using both of these two different types of solutions to give you a holistic picture of how your campaigns are performing. So now that you're measuring the information, and now that you're measuring how your campaigns perform, what you need to do is figure out how to use this information that you've collected to make better decisions. That is, you need to optimize your campaigns and use your performance data to make better decisions. One of the key benefits of the call reports is that it gives you insights into your campaigns, ads, and keywords. So this helps you to use these decisions and make informed decisions about bidding, how much you want to spend, and where you want to spend, and even at what times of the day you want to spend. And even better is the automation that comes when you start counting calls as conversions. You'll be able to use auto bidding features to help you to hit your desired metric by taking into account conversions that are coming from calls. We treat these calls as real conversions, so anything that's based on optimizing or conversions will work to optimize your calls. And lastly, the most important factor is basically optimizing your business. It is important for you as a business owner to think about what you are going to do once your businesses start generating 10x more calls than you are accustomed to. How is this going to affect your caller? Will they have to be on hold longer? This is not going to be a good experience for them. As we mentioned earlier, it is important to look at calls as an opportunity to impress your new customers. Don't just take in the orders that you get over the phone, but help them to find the best product based on their needs. Listen to what they are saying and make recommendations and do something even more than what your website can do. And when it comes to optimizing your business, you can basically think about this in 3 different ways. You can think about optimizing your business in terms of customer satisfaction, upsell opportunities, and measuring the value. When it comes to customer satisfaction, you need to think about how you are going to handle these calls, because when you start giving your customers the ability to call from your ads, you are going to get more phone calls. So does this mean that the people calling you have to wait longer? Does this mean that there will be more missed calls because you don't have a fully staffed team to answer their calls? Or does it also mean that your staff may not be as well trained? So the first thing that you need to think about is a good customer satisfaction for your customers when they call your business. You also need to think about upsell opportunities. That is, train your team to ask the right questions or to understand your products fully so that they can maximize upsell opportunities. And finally, you also need to keep a look at how you are effectively measuring the value that you get. And you can do this by using either Google call forwarding products or any other third-party products as well. And this, again, can help you to make important decisions like how to effectively staff your teams or how to effectively allocate your budgets across different campaigns. Now I've basically walked you through all the different best practices to drive calls for your business. And before I hand it over to Weldon, here are the top 4 things to keep in mind. 1, make it easy for your customers to call you. 2, measure your calls effectively and accurately. 3, optimize your campaigns. And 4, optimize your business. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you all learned a few things about the value of phone calls for your business. I'm Vanessa Costasau. I'm an agency development manager, and I'm very, very excited and passionate about training our agencies and their customers, especially when it comes to how they can relate our products to their business needs. And I will be here to answer any questions along with Weldon at the end of the webinar. And with that, I am going to hand it over to Weldon.
Great. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And I will keep going for another 10 minutes or so, and then we will start answering questions at the end. So the next one I really want to go over is most of you probably have questions around. In order for me to do mobile marketing, should I have a mobile-friendly website? So that's what I kind of want to go over. First of all is how do you know whether you have a mobile-friendly website or not? It's actually pretty easy to tell. So Google does have a tool. I will send this link out at the end of the webinar. But once you go to this website here, and you just enter in your URL, your domain name, and Google will let you know whether it's mobile friendly or not. So for example, this is mailguard.com. You can see over here, it says awesome. This page is mobile friendly. If your website is not mobile friendly, it will look something like this. This is just a random website I picked on. And you can see over here, it says not mobile friendly. The page appears not mobile friendly because the text is too small to read. Mobile viewport not set. Links too close together. So another way to really test it out is just use your smartphone. If you have to pinch with your fingers to make it larger, typically it means it's not mobile friendly. So there are, actually, let me talk about this. So this is actually pretty interesting. I want to show you this data first. This is a data from a window indoor client of ours. And this is a data from Google Analytics, which reports all the traffic coming to the website. And this is a data for the last 30 days. And you can see they do have quite a bit of traffic coming to the website, about 3,900. Out of this report gives us a breakdown as to which device people are using to come to the website. And you can see mobile-wise, this is using mobile device. 21 or close to 22% of the people are using mobile devices. That's actually a lot. So that's why in the past I thought for window or door industry or large ticket size items, people don't use their mobile devices. But as you can see here, 1/5 of the traffic is already coming from mobile device. And I do expect this to continue to go up as more and more people are adopting their mobile devices. And you can see the phone's getting bigger and bigger. My phone is big. It's way too big to fit in my pocket these days. And also on this, I just want to note this tablet. If you do have like an iPad, that would not consider to be a mobile device. that would be more or less considered a desktop device as far as the advertising goes. So this is a true coming from mobile device, like a smartphone. So what I kind of want to briefly talk about here is if you don't have a mobile-friendly website, there are two types of mobile-friendly website. There is something called responsive design and another one that is called standalone, just a standalone website. And there's definitely pros and cons to each of these. A responsive and design website basically is all you need is one website. And the website shrinks according to the size of your screen. So this is pretty good, right? So if I'm opening with my desktop, I get to see the full screen. If I'm using my iPad, then it'll shrink accordingly. Now, this is a screenshot from a mobile device. Then you can see it shrinks accordingly. I don't have to pinch with my fingers or make it bigger. The menu is still here. I can still call them, and I still can scroll down. So it's very, very mobile friendly. So this is if you don't have a mobile friendly website yet, and you're looking down the road to redesign your website, then I will say probably a good way to go with is to get a responsive and design website. That way you only have to maintain one website. But I would think probably as a good patch in between, maybe you just got a new website not too long ago and your desktop version is working great in conversion, then I would probably say just get a standalone mobile-friendly website for now. So for example, this American Windows Systems, this is what it looks like. It's just a standalone website. It looks totally different compared to the desktop version. But you can see this has huge big buttons, right? People can tap to call. They can expand into different menus. But the main thing here is it's just a smaller version, light content version of the desktop version. The main thing here is to drive for phone calls. So I will say both works. They definitely have its own pros and cons. For the standalone version of the site, typically it has a little lighter in content. It's a smaller website, but the main thing here is to drive phone calls. And if you're going with a responsive and design website, make sure the call button or the call to action is super clear for people to call you. And as Vanessa kind of mentioned before, that if you look at the Google Ads, this is a search that I performed on my iPhone for Beaverton replacement windows. And you can see on the top 3 searches, all these are ads. And on here, for this example here, there is a call button. So people do call directly by clicking on this, and that is called click to call. So what I kind of want to share with you is people really do directly call you right from the ad. So this is the same example that I used for this company here, right, which showed 21% of people are coming from mobile devices. And with the click to call, we get to track a little bit more here. For example, how many, when did people call, how many phone calls were generated, and how long the call is. And you can see on here a lot of missed calls. That's actually not too good, right? So the client needs to be a little better in picking up phone calls. But with the click to call, this is definitely pretty neat. You get to see where are people calling from, which area codes, how long did a call last, and whether you have missed calls or not. So with mobile devices, I will say for now, if you don't have a mobile-friendly website yet, you still can participate on mobile marketing. The main thing here is to drive people to call you directly from mobile ads. And you can see over here, people really do call for high-ticket items. Okay, so this is basically it. So do we have any questions? Allison, do you know? Let me see here. Okay, there you go, Allison.
Oh, hi there. Sorry about that. So we kind of talked about the ads for mobile, but if we're already doing pay-per-click ads on desktop, can I have different ads catered for mobile?
Okay, interesting question. So definitely, if you're already doing pay-per-click ads on desktop, you could definitely just add a separate campaign, or on the same campaign, just turn on your mobile ads. And on mobile ads, the main thing here is to drive phone calls. So you could definitely have different ads cater for desktop versus mobile device. On mobile device, you really want to drive them to phone call. So the call to action on the ad will be very different. It's to call now for free in-home consultation, or call now to get a quote. So the message will definitely be a little bit different on mobile device compared to desktop device. And we could definitely have separate ads cater on the
Right.
device.
Okay, good. Another question here, do remarketing ads also work on mobile devices?
Interesting. Yes. So remarketing ads, if they are using your mobile device, and then they came to your site, and those remarketing ads will start to follow them around. So this will also kick in as well. It will also show up on mobile devices.
Wonderful. One last question here. How can I check if my competition is placing mobile ads on Google?
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So it's actually pretty easy to see if your competition is already doing mobile advertising. Very similar, just go on google.com using your mobile device and then see who is, for example, I'm here in San Jose. I would probably just type in San Jose windows, San Jose window covering, and see right on there the top 3 ads on there. And most likely you will see if your competition is already doing mobile ads. And we can also help you out. Just let us know who your main competitions are, and we can definitely do a lot more research for you to see whether they're already taking advantage of mobile marketing.
Right. Good.
Any other questions?
That's all we have here.
Okay.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions, we'd like to thank Vanessa, and thank you again, Welton, for another really great webinar today. I hope that all of you on the call found it to be valuable. And now real quick, as you see on the screen, we at Ring Marketing want to connect with you and see how we can increase your mobile marketing footprint. We encourage those of you who have not had a chance to do an initial consultation with us and receive our free comprehensive marketing plan, do so. Just send us an email or give us a call and we'll set up an appointment to connect. The marketing report, if you don't know, is all about your company. It's very detailed and comprehensive. This report literally takes Welton 6 hours or more to do, put together. It's really an amazing report. So we hope that you take advantage of that opportunity. Email us or call us to set up a time we can connect. Finally, many of you have inquired about our next webinar on December 15th. This webinar is called What Will Work for 2016. So if you want, if you're interested, we can automatically sign you up for the webinar so that you will receive the login information straight away, and you won't have, and we'll reserve your spot so we can reserve it. For those of you that would like to automatically sign up for that next webinar, just type in the word yes right now in that chat box, and then we'll make sure that we get that information directly to you. Like every webinar we do, we've recorded today's session and we'll be emailing that link to you later today. So please be sure to let us know if you do not receive it. We don't want anyone to miss out on this. Again, we want to thank Vanessa for her time as well, and thank Welton for once again providing great information for everyone. It was great to see you on the call today, and we hope to see you more in the future. So with that, I wish you all a great day. See you next time.